Hey, you got time for a beer? I know I do. Welcome to my show. My name's Jake. It's Thursday, which means I got a new beer for you. Don't forget you can find me at tubajake_69 at Untappd, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. I like to share them. If you tell me stories, I'll tell you stories. I'm going to tell you stories anyway, but I like to hear yours too. So the beer that I've got for you today is Bean Flicker Pumpkin Spice by OddSide Ales. It's a 4.5% ABV coffee blonde with pumpkin spice, not pumpkin, which people always seem to think. If it's a pumpkin spice, then it has pumpkin in it. No pumpkin, just spice, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg. It's good. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. I know I like their Bean Flicker normally. They're out of Grand Haven too, if I didn't say before. I like the Bean Flicker. It's a good one. Tastes good. This one should be fairly light, blonde, if you will. And it is. It's pretty. Look at that. All right. So there should be a little bit of coffee, but you should definitely be able to taste the spices that are in it. I can smell the spices already. There's definitely nutmeg in this. I can smell that for sure. Probably some cinnamon. Usually cloves overpowering, so there's probably not much of that in here, but probably that too. But definitely nutmeg. That one's like the one that stands right out at the front. You can barely taste the coffee in it. It's delicious though. I like this a lot. The bitterness from this doesn't seem to be from, it's almost like a malt bitterness, which doesn't make sense being that there's, you know, coffee in here. So my guess is that the bitterness that I'm getting is from the coffee flavoring, or however they do that without making this black. Is there a beer this reminds me of? A lot of those Christmas type beers. If it's a Christmas ale, it's probably got these same three spices in it, and they're good. I like them. There's a reason why everybody likes pumpkin spice everything this time of year. It's because it's pretty good. I mean, I can't do it all the time, but every once in a while, pumpkin spice is okay. Let's see, anything else this reminds me of? A little bit of Bean Flicker, but just because of the pale color and the fact that there's so much flavor in it. Let's see, does this remind me of a story? Does this remind me of a story? I guess like the last year that I was in college was when pumpkin spice really started to become a thing. And you'd see all the girls out in their Han Solo costumes. I mean, not really costumes, because that's what they decided. Everybody decided that they needed to wear. And the leggings and the long sleeve white shirt and the vest with their lattes. That's a good time. Leggings are nice. Like to say that it reminds me of somebody in particular, but it really doesn't. There were several of them. It'd be nice to be like, yeah, it reminds me of a trip that I took to go apple picking, or to go to a pumpkin patch with a girlfriend or something like that, but I didn't do those things. I was always too busy this time of year. Football games and school starting, and more football games and parties to go to. Just had things to do. And I did never really go. It is kind of weird though that my mom's uncle owned an apple orchard over near Lapeer, I think. Like people would come in to study the apples because it had been there for 100 years. Had been there when he was there, so it's like 120 years, real easy. Oh, that's a good story that I should probably tell sometime. It's a terrible story because it's making fun of my grandmother, but she didn't remember things at the end, and when my Uncle Ivan died, they were close, which was strange, but I mean, you know, good for them. But Grandma did not like the fact that Uncle Ivan died, but she could not, for the life of her, remember why she was at that funeral home. And my uncle thought it was hilarious. Like the first 2 times, he was like, well, that's weird. And then the 3rd time, he offered to take whomever it was up with their mother to see Uncle Ivan, because he knew it would be just as fresh as the first time she was finding out that Uncle Ivan had died. And it was, I mean, he's kind of got the same sense of humor that I do. And it's kind of dark. And it was funny. He was right. It was funny. It shouldn't have been, but it was. You got to look on the bright side of those things, really. You don't normally. I do try to, usually. Because Grandma was great, and Uncle Ivan did some good things. But if you can't laugh at the people after they're gone, then did you really even want to laugh with them while they were here? I don't know. Whew. All right, that was really good. This has not been very long. That's awesome, though, because I like to have these short. That's not what I needed. I'm trying to make sure I get this in here so I can turn it off at the end. I've got a quote for you. This one is from Princess Diana. She said, "Carry out a random act of kindness with no expectation of reward." Those are usually the best kind, the kinds that you do something nice for somebody just because you want to do something nice for somebody. I know it always makes me feel better. If you're having a junky day or whatever, just do something nice. People like that. So don't forget, you can find me at tubajake_69 at Untapped YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. Like, comment, subscribe if you like the show. If you don't like the show, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what I can do better. But, you know, just keep watching because I like that. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. I'll catch you next time when you got time for a beer.